Shreki, and this is my presentation for my final project of Unit 2. So, of course, we're going to talk about my visit to a cultural center, but I want to talk about the cultural center I choose. So, for this project, I want to choose something special and something that meant a lot to me. That's why I chose a football/soccer game facing PSG, Paris Saint-Germain, against l'OM, which is l'Olympique de Marseille, which is probably the greatest rivalry in French football. And actually, I went to Paris and au Parc des Princes, the PSG stadium, to witness this event. And I'm going to talk about it in detail today in this presentation. In order to actually go to the stadium, and in classic Parisian fashion, we had to use the subway, the Parisian subway actually, which was really which was really interesting because the moment we stepped into the subway, we saw multiple fans of PSG all lining up. They're called ultras. We'll talk about them later, but there was a lot of them, and we were 15 stations away. We could always see them, going on the train and going on this long ride and being able to go to the stadium and actually attend the match, just showing like how big this event is for the people of Paris. Remember the Rector Stadium? It was crazy. The the ambience, the atmosphere, it was all wonderful. The air was tense, and everyone was filled with excitement and joy of being able to see one of the greatest rivalries in football/soccer reenacted again. The stadium was packed. People were everywhere. It was great. Sorry, the only thing you could see was blue, red, and white representing the colors of the PSG. And the atmosphere in the air, everyone was just being so nice to each other. Everyone was just being filled with excitement, and it was amazing. You got to see everybody's faces be lit up and just see how live the stadium was. And this is a part I really want to talk about. So the ultras, I really want to talk about this because this is probably my favorite part of the entire experience. And as I said earlier, I want to talk about this. And furthermore, I'm going to conduct my DAE process on this. So first of all, what are ultras? Ultras are basically a community of diehard fans for a football club. Uh, now each club in the world has their own ultras, but Paris's ultras really stand out. They really bring. They're the only ones to come in Paris. They're the only ones to live in actual communities together. They're the only ones to actually be funded by the club, unlike most other clubs where it's just an organization. This one is actually funded by the club, and it actually brings people together to support the club as one. So, I wanted to conduct a DAE process for this picture. Of course, DAE standing for describe, analyze, and evaluate. So, let's describe first. What did I do? Where did I go? And what did I see? So, I went to Parc des Princes in Paris, which is the stadium of PSG. I was there watching the game, and what did I see? I saw a football game, but most importantly, I saw a wall of ultras. Now, what can we see in that? We can see people. We can see a, a bunch of people all waving flags in the stadium, and most of them are are not sat down. They're standing up. We can see smoke bombs as well, just showing how crazy the atmosphere is. Now, let's analyze. So, let's analyze what I saw and how it might be connected with values and assumptions. So, as I said earlier, we can see smoke bombs and flags. So in the flags, what we see is that we see, of course, blue, red, and white. Now, this can be symbolic of the club, PSG, or this can also be symbolic of the French people, because the French flag is blue, red, and white. Also, we see black flags, we see some flags where Arabic is written on. Now, this is also a huge part because a large part of the PSG community or the French communities in general are a lot of Arab immigrants from Tunisia, Algeria, and Morocco. They're showing, their presence in the stadium. And also, this might be a message, for example, towards Palestine, because a lot of French people who are strictly against the the conflict happening between Israel and Palestine. Or this can also be a reference towards Ashraf Hakimi uh, or Usman Nabila, which are both Muslim players, thus actually reading the Quran and being able to understand Arabic. So let's evaluate this picture now. So, what did I feel, and how did I feel at the beginning of the trip, throughout my trip, and after the trip, and how did me applying the DAE change my opinion or change my enthusiasm about it? Well, the way I see it is that the DAE process is really useful. Uh, for me, what's good about it is that it lets me appreciate things under a new point of view. Also, this has allowed. Also, I truly believe that, you know, without the A process, I wouldn't have realized, for example, that a lot of the Arabic that was on the flags was actually meant for players as encouragement, or as a form of protest. So, how did I feel at the beginning of the trip? At the beginning of the trip, I was very excited. Of course, it was a great game. I was excited. We had good seats. Um, Throughout my trip, I was extremely happy that I got to experience this, especially with my brother, which I don't get to spend a lot of time with nowadays. And how did I feel after my trip? I was so happy. This trip was amazing. I think it was everything I wanted it to be, and if not more. So yeah, this is what I'd say about the DAE process about this particular picture, which I truly think was the highlight of this trip. First half of the game was actually incredible. We got to see PSG score 2 goals, and not only that, we were on the right side of the pitch. Now, why is that important? Because a lot of Paris's best players are actually on the right side of the pitch offensively, and we got to see, of course, our favorite players of the team, Ashraf Hakimi, which is also captain of the team, who happens to be also Moroccan. This is me and my brother, as you can see the picture, and we really got to see. We also got to see Ousmane Dembele, which is probably one of the best players this season so far, and is eligible to win the Ballon d'Or / MVP of the entire season. And this shows the excitement in everybody's eyes, as you can see. Everybody just look at the game, the pitch, and it's just such a nice atmosphere. Now, for the second half of the game, it was actually it was a little less exciting. We conceded a goal, so unfortunately no clean sheets. However, we did manage to score one right before the end. Now, of course, the game was a little slower and was of course a little calmer. However, it was still great. We got unfortunately Hakimi and Ousmane Dembele were on the other side of the pitch now because they flipped the sides during halftime. So unfortunately we couldn't see our favorite player up so close to us. However, we did get to see the defense of Paris Saint Germain, which, as a person that plays defense, usually when I play soccer / football for fun, it was really great to see how incredible the defense got to play. And one thing that was really impressive was their passes. They could shoot they could pass the ball from so far away, and it would land right in the person's feet, just showing like how the precision that pro level athletes like them actually show on every single occasion. And this is only like a league game. This is not even a championship game, so you can imagine how much better it gets. But it was so incredible and such an experience to see that. After the game, me and my brother found no better way of celebrating this than to go outside the stadium, walk 15 minutes, and have one of the best kebabs / shawarma in Paris. Now, also, why did I put this in the presentation? Because this is classic French food. This is technically what you eat when playing football. In France, this and football go hand in hand. For example, the drink Hawaii is a Moroccan drink. Thus, also showing like, and the only place you can get Hawaii is these kind of places, which shows the tie between the Arab Moroccan culture and the French football culture. Thus, truly showing really a strong bond there. And the food was great. We ate every single bit of it. Um, so yeah, I think it was lovely. I think I really appreciated it, and I'm glad I had the opportunity to go use this as my project for my Unit 2 project. And yeah, it was absolutely wonderful, and I definitely do it again. And yeah, seeing the ultras, it was such a good experience, and I really appreciate SCLA 110 for allowing me to do this kind of work and showing what I truly love and my passion outside of the US. But thank you so much. You have a great day, sir.